YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with my locks and bets of week 14. Excited to show you guys what I got this week. We got this video every single Thursday. Also have score predictions for every game, picks against the spread, straight up picks, multiple videos on the channel every single week. So join us, like, subscribe, turn notifications on, follow us on Twitter. Links pinned in the comments for that. And our sponsors, Liquid IV, GLD Shop, code GOATS. We have a giveaway going on with the GLD Shop. Let's go on to my picks. Spread lock. The Texans game, since we last talked in our score predictions, the line has come down. And I talked about in that video that it could be a bit of a trap, mainly because both these coaches coached with each other before. They know each other's defense, so they could be, who's going to win the mind games. I'm pretty confident with the Texans winning still. I just thought it would be closer than people thought, and I had it as a 7-point game. 3.5 seems pretty low. There isn't against a spread pick that I absolutely love. I'm pounding the table to bet on this week, but that is my favorite. And there's some decent ones, but that's my favorite of the group since that moved down from 5.5 to 3.5. I mean, if you can get it at 3, it's even better. Saints -5, they should cover that against the Panthers. I think Kamara has a big game. Broncos +3. I think they win the game. If they lose, I think it's going to be a maximum 3. But I'm surprised. Usually when I'm surprised about lines, Vegas knows something. I'm surprised the Chargers are favored by 3 in that one. In Detroit, struggled with Chicago last time. I think they should be better this time around, but they should cover that 3. I have them winning by 7. Next is my alternate spreads. This is potential parlay options here. Texans, you can boost up to +3. I mean, I don't think they're going to lose the game. If they do, it's not going to be any more than that. Like, guarantee, it can't be any more than that. Saints, if you bring that down to 1, it's a solid alternate line. They definitely should cover that. The Dolphins, bad matchup for the Titans in Miami, Monday Night Football. They're favored by 13 for a reason. They should definitely cover that 6. Detroit +3. If they lose the game, it's going to be very close between the Bears. And the Broncos, they're already +3. If you want to play that safer in a parlay, put it up to 7. I just don't see a scenario where they lose by that much, or more than that. Straight up locks, which we got our second loss of the season last week. It was the Jags, which Trevor Lawrence went down, so that was tough. But they could have lost either way. The Bengals were playing pretty good, much better than I expect them to. Jake Browning mainly. Browning was playing much better than I expected. But I'm going to go with the Dolphins, straight up lock to win against the Titans. The home Titans versus away Titans are two totally different type of team this year. The away Titans are one of the very worst teams in football. Also, what is their weakness on defense? It is pass defense. Specifically, it's teams that have speed and that can hit you deep, that can get you deep. And that is exactly the Miami Dolphins. And it's in Miami. Bad matchup with the Titans. Dolphins take care of business against these teams. They're going to win that game. Saints should be able to handle the Panthers. The Niners are the best team in football. The Seahawks are in that must-win mode, so they can make it interesting, but I just don't see how the Niners don't win. Packers-Giants could be a little bit of a trap game because the Giants could run the ball and control the clock so well. Even if they are successful doing that, I still think the Packers at least squeak by just because they're better. They're rolling right now. They'll find a way, but it could be a trap game with the 6.5 spread. I just don't think it's trap in terms of who's going to win the game. So there you have it for straight up locks. Upsets, 8-3 on that actual upset lock this year. Been very good on those. I'm going to go with the Broncos. The other ones are supposed to be closer games according to the lines, but the Bucks, the Bengals, which they're the underdogs in that game, but both of them have a minus line. If you bet on that, I think that should be illegal, by the way. That's a different debate, though. And the Bills, the Bucks, Bengals, Bills, I have them all winning. The Bucks and the Bills, something we have to monitor. We have to monitor those injuries because I'm picking the Bucks right now because the Falcons are really beat up, and I think they will be beat up during this game. But if for some, AJ Terrell, David Onyemata, Caleb McGarry's going to be out. There's multiple injuries. Mainly AJ Terrell. Like, if those guys magically are playing, I'm probably going to switch my straight-up pick to the Falcons. I just don't think they will be. So that's something to keep in mind there. If all those guys are out, but while the Bucks are supposed to be getting healthier, Levante David come back, they should win that game. Bengals, it's tricky because which Browning's going to show up, but I think they have too many weapons for the Colts in terms of receivers and Joe Mixon at running back. Bills, the Chiefs, little beat up after last week. We'll see who's playing, who's not. Must win for the Bills to stay alive in the playoffs. But the Broncos, I think, are straight up better than the Chargers. I know it's in L.A. Chargers defense is playing better. I'm not fully buying in on that defense being better since Staley said they made adjustments. I'm just not buying it. I mean, they played the Patriots last week. Yeah, it looked pretty good against the Ravens. Primetime in L.A. I'm not buying it. I think the Broncos do enough offensively. The Broncos defense is very solid against the pass. You got to beat them pounding the ball over and over again. The Chargers really don't do that. They don't have that running back to do that. Broncos are playing good football right now. The Chargers can turn the ball over. The Broncos are really good creating turnovers. I like the Broncos to win that game. It could go either way, but that's my favorite upset pick, and it's the best odds here as well. So interesting one. We'll see if we keep rolling on those. Over-under, which we've really turned it around. The beginning of the year it was a little weird. We've really turned it around on these. The Lions and Bears is only 43. Yeah, it's going to be cold. It's going to be in Chicago. I think it's going to be like 38 degrees. So I guess that can play up. I just don't think so. I know Detroit plays inside, but they're built to play in this type of weather. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, and they have a pretty solid day. The Bears, both these teams scored on each other last time, and that was while Jared Goff was throwing interceptions like crazy. I had a 27-20 final, so that's 47 total. It should hit over that 43. Rams, Ravens, yeah, it's tough because it's going to be Baltimore weather. A defense the Rams really haven't seen this year, but they're explosive. They can score at any given time. I think Lamar has a day running against the Rams. I had a 24-19 final, so both these should hit over. It's a little tricky because this is time of the year where I make my money on the unders, playing in cold environments, cold places, and the cold time winter, it's winter now. But these over-unders seem pretty damn low. We'll see if they're traps here. A little scary. So my favorite bets, listen, I just have 4 I put up there. If you want to parlay some of these together, I like the Texans best against the spread. If you want to just take that half a point off, that hook off, and do -3. Pair it with like a Saints money line. Maybe you think -5 is too much. The Dolphins alternate line, they definitely should cover that. And then if you want to do a lone bet, I do like, my locks for upsets have been good this year. The Broncos, it's a little scary because Vegas knows something, but I think the Broncos are going to win that game. So those are some good options for best bets, which we've been pretty good on this year. And then there's some Thursday night for tonight's game, which should be a shit fest. The ones that stood out, Deontay Johnson, 3.5 over-under seems pretty low. I do think some apps already bumped it up to 4.5. I wouldn't touch it at that. So since that one was my favorite, but since it's not the greatest odds and most apps are starting to bump it up, Zeke's probably my favorite one then. No Ramondre Stevenson. Imagine Zappy checks it down a bit. Zeke had 4 or so catches last week. He should hit that 2.5 over that 2.5. Deontay Johnson, 25 plus, alternate line, not the worst odds for an alternate line. Zeke, if you want to gamble, if you think he gets 3 catches, he should get over that 15.5. I suppose he could get little yards on those 3 catches, but I think he's going to haul in like 4 or 5 catches. So, Freiermuth, he's been getting over 2.5, seems to be good with Trubisky. Patriots are pretty good defending tight ends. So that one at first glance looks amazing. I still like it, but in the back of my mind, do the Patriots just stop tight ends? But we'll see. And then Boswell, it should be a field goal fest in this game. 2 field goals he's got to make. Seems pretty good. So, if you can get Deontay Johnson at 3.5, I like that one at the top. I like Zeke at the top. And then maybe, I would like Deontay Johnson 25 plus, but it's not the best odds. But if you're going for like a big parlay, then it helps you. Then the Boswell one, I like that one a lot. They should hit 2 field goals, right? Unless, part of me is like, what if there's just like no chances? What if it's like a 1 field goal, 1 touchdown game? The Steelers win with it. It's possible. They win with 10 points. It's very possible. So, just one opportunity for Boswell to kick that field goal. I guess that's I would imagine he attempts 2 field goals. He's got to make them both. I would imagine he attempts 3 field goals, probably my guess. But we'll see. Maybe 2, and maybe he makes them both. We'll see. So that's an interesting one as well. So that's going to wrap it up for my locks of Week 14. Back every Thursday with this video. I pick games against the spread every single game in the score predictions video, which is most recently up. A mock draft went up this week as well. Interesting stuff there. Check it all out. Like, subscribe to notifications on. Follow us on Twitter. A lot going on there. Links pinned in the comments for anything you're looking for. It's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.